Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about a conversation that is happening with people that might be a little bit less mature. And these are folks that are maybe gossiping because they feel a little bit jealous of the path that you have found for yourself. So, this could be friends that you've known since you were a child. This could be friends who are frustrated because they envy how your life has gone. There could be something to do with children. They want children and they can't, and you have them, or something along those lines. Or there's dreams that maybe both of you had while you were friends as children, and you've actually gotten on that path, right? You've pursued those dreams. There's something about talking about you in a positive way, appreciating that you've done things you said you would do, but also kind of judgy or jealous. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of 110. I hope you're having a good day so far. Happy Saturday. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is a link to find out more information on my memberships and how to get more content. Let's start off with the Pulp Tarot and see what else we've got for you. Strength and Hierophant in the reverse. Seven of Swords in the reverse and the Seven of Cups. All right, so the number 7 is important in this reading as well. But you're being looked at as somebody who has the courage or has had the courage to take an unconventional path. So the Hierophant being in the reverse, this is somebody who doesn't necessarily follow the rules or take the same path as everybody else. But the thing is, what seemed like kind of a fantasy or a pipe dream, what seemed like it was, unlikely to go well for you, people are realizing or taking note of the fact that you made it happen. Maybe you'll come out as the magician, because it's like they feel like you found magic or you made magic happen. Hello, Loyal. How are you? Hello, Pichitata. Hello, Namira. How are you doing? What else? Ace of Cups in the reverse. Knight of Wands and the Fool in the reverse. I do think that whoever I'm reading for, you have people that kind of judged you as being a bit foolish in your pursuits. You seem to have been more focused on your bag or achieving a dream or a goal than pursuing love. So you may be dealing with some judgment from folks who maybe didn't put as much emphasis or much at all on their dreams. And, they've had more of a normal life, if you will. And they're talking about your extraordinary life, right? I like it. What else do we have? Ace of Swords. Yeah, it's not easy for this group or for these individuals to admit that they were wrong. I do feel like there is a significant gap in terms of prosperity or perceived wealth or abundance. And the High Priestess is in the reverse because they did not predict this. They did not think that you were actually going to be able to do what you set out to do. This could be family, this could be friends, right? But friends. This is definitely talking about like your story arc, right? What have you been through? What have you focused on? And, I knew them way back when, that kind of thing. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Ace of Wands in the reverse. You take rejection like a champ. You didn't give up. There are plenty of people who would have stopped chasing their dream or, fallen back into something different. But I see multiple rejections or multiple letdowns, but persisting because I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. And it's the fact that you didn't give up that makes it that much more likely, or that actually led to your being successful. Because with the Ten of Swords in the reverse, you were like, no, I'm not going to let this end because I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is the What's the News deck. Hey, Peggy, how are you doing? Swept up, head over heels, falling in love, intense emotions. Memories, missing someone, regression, revisiting the past. See, I feel like for the majority of you, this is not romantic. It could be, right? This could be an ex who's talking about what their, the one that got away, what they ended up getting into. But I feel like this intense emotions is, I remember way back when, we were graduating from high school or whatever, and we had the same dreams. And Bobby followed them, but I didn't. Or, Jenny went and did what she said she was going to do. And I'm just sitting here, same old, right? They're thinking back on how the paths diverged for the two of you. And a big part of it has to do with healing. So we've got rebound, unpredictable intentions, temporary option, flighty. The difference between success and failure is often how much you're willing to put forth in terms of your effort. And one person did not give up. I feel like that's who I'm reading for. Another person gave up when it got just a little bit difficult. Like, I feel like this was a long time ago. So they're daydreaming about what would have happened if they had followed your lead and continued on that path. Yep. Numbing, self-medicating, addictions, irrational behavior, and lust. So let's say we're talking about somebody who has made it big in the music industry. And we all know there are different reasons that people try to make it in music, right? One of them being, I'm passionate about music and I'd really like to share my music with others. Another of them being lust. If you can't read it, it says lust. And that might be the difference here, right? We had somebody who was pursuing this dream because it was a distraction from problems in their life and maybe seen as a way to acquire. Sorry. I think that was in a meme, like the Benjamin Franklin meme or whatever, where it's like making fun of getting bitches, I think. I think this was somebody who was not serious about their dream and you were serious about your dream. They looked at it as a way to be popular or be seen as cool. And you were like, no, like I actually enjoy doing this. I feel like this is my calling. You just look at it as a way to get booty. All right. This is the Marigold Tarot. What else do we have? Knight of Rings or Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Four of Wands. Justice. So your karma is coming through because you have stayed dedicated to this pursuit. Even though there have been obstacles, even though there have been moments where you thought about quitting or where you thought about giving up, you did not. And that's why we have this Four of Wands, which ties in nicely with the Ascension card. And it's with the Justice card because it's well deserved. Three of Swords in the reverse and a Three of Wands. Yeah. You recover quickly. You take rejection well. You know what your purpose is, which is why you don't get distracted. And that's why things have started to make sense or work out. You may get a pay raise. You may have, gone viral, but this is people around you realizing that what they told you was kind of frivolous or a waste of your time, that they were actually wrong. Ace of Rings or the Ace of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Two of Wands. Yeah. You saw an opportunity. You knew you had to change things in order to pursue that opportunity, and you did. So for some of you, this would be like, okay, I want to be in the music industry. I should move to like LA or Nashville, right? Okay, I want to be a politician. I'm going to go live in Washington, D.C. There's something here where it's like, I know I have changes that I need to do or that I need to make happen, and I'm going to. And so your follow through, the willingness to plan, the willingness to have a checklist and like actually work through it. These are reasons why things are actually falling into place for you. Eight of Cups in the reverse. Two of Swords. Five of Wands and the Queen of Cups in the reverse. They're jealous, okay? Pure and simple. You didn't walk away from your dream. You followed that path. And as a result, now things are looking great for you. Someone else here got caught up in life or lost their passion for this. And now they're looking at you having achieved what it was that you set out to do. And they're jealous. They wonder what your life is like. I don't know, though. It kind of feels like they're torn between admiring what you've been able to accomplish and trying to like malign it or insult you for it because of that jealousy. All right, this is the energy oracle. What else do we have? Hello, Stephen. Hello, Candace. How you doing? Yes, thank you for liking the video, everyone. I appreciate it. So we've got the first chakra, Archangel Michael, Goddess of the Moon, and seventh chakra, Archangel Uriel. So we're dealing with somebody who feels like they should have approached life differently when they see how you have approached yours. They feel like if they had your confidence or if they had your sense of direction or purpose, that their life would be in a better spot right now. They feel like your magic is still very visible and theirs has been dormant or they haven't really seen it in a while, you know? This is the Rider-Waite or the Waite-Smith. Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Six of Wands in the reverse and the Emperor in the reverse. It's easier to blame other people for our own missteps or disappointments than to say, maybe I was just too lazy. Maybe if I had put in the work, I would be successful like that person too. Maybe if I had better jokes, I would be where that person is today. This is somebody who wants to blame external circumstances and not concede that the reason you have become successful at this and they have not is effort and the time that they put forth, right? Hey, Key Controller, how are you doing? Did I say hello to Aqua Beauty? Hello. So we've got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, the Devil, another Seven of Cups, and the Three of Swords. They let go. They gave in to fear, or they subscribed to a different routine or lifestyle. And with that Devil energy, it's also giving, I feel like I should make you look bad because I don't like how we compare. They want to make it less obvious that they're jealous or hurt or feeling some type of way about the fact that you were successful. I don't think they're very good at hiding their jealousy. I think this is like an Edgar Allan Poe situation, like Telltale Heart, where it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm definitely masking the fact that I hate this person or that I, did this thing. No, they're not. I think it's quite visible to most, observant individuals that this is someone who's saying certain things because they're jealous. Page of Cups in the reverse. King of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so I think this is contentious or combative energy. If you run into them or if you have a conversation, this is going to be somebody who brags about things that aren't actually true. Very like Romy and Michelle, like, how can I show off to everyone so that they think I'm something that I'm not? They're going to try to, lie a little bit, right? Hello, Dee, how are you doing? What else? Oh, we just keep getting this Fool in the reverse. Justice in the reverse. Fool in the reverse. Eight of Pentacles. Five of Wands. For some of you, this could be a sibling. They just didn't think you would be able to make a career out of this. They didn't think you would be successful. Now they look foolish for playing it safe or for not believing in that or for not joining you on that path. You put in this work, you've approached it with dedication, and that's why you're seen as an expert or like a pro right now. But with the Five of Wands, this is somebody who's trying to compete with you and they're frustrated because they can't compete with you. This is the Path of Shadows. Path of Shadows, what do we have? Sabotaging relationships and story observatory. In the tangle of love, my demons emerge, and I wonder if yours will ask them to dance. A little piece in a cosmic puzzle, the universe only reveals its secret if you dare to dance in the starry dazzle. I love this card, and I know we got it a couple days ago, but this is saying you were rewarded or you are about to be rewarded because you pursue the thing that feels like you're meant to do it, right? That feels like the reason you're here. But this sabotaging relationships card, I feel like this is the other person. This is someone who could learn from you. This is someone who could be a close friend or could have a great family connection with you. But instead, they're creating drama here because they're jealous of what you've achieved. They don't feel like they stack up. Fear of failure. The fall keeps repeating on my head. the eternal obstacle between me and the next step. This fear of failure prevented them from chasing the things that they actually wanted to be able to accomplish. That didn't stop you, though. Hello, romantic boy. Hello, Renee. What's going on? Where's the crown? No, you're good. What else do we have? I think we're gonna go with untold messages of the heart. These are kind of romantic, but some of them are a little bit more platonic. I feel like I can't get through to you. Please let me in. I feel like I've lost you and I'm not coping well with it. So there's a friendship or some connection that you used to have with this person, and that jealousy or the need to compete with you has eroded that connection. I feel like an idiot for the choices I've made. I wasn't thinking clearly at the time. They feel like an idiot, and the fool keeps coming out over here, right? They feel like an idiot because they didn't put in the work. They let fear of failure prevent them from being successful. And now they're faced with seeing how successful you are because you didn't let that stop you. Yep, it's true. Although, bitchy tata, you should spell that Kray. Look up the Kray brothers. Shallow, bitterness, hollow, empty, boredom. They're bored. They chose a boring life because they were fearful, right? So naturally, they're bitter because you didn't choose a boring life, because you did stand and, pursue what it is that you wanted instead of just accepting or settling for something worse. Time has passed. There has been cycles. There have been a lot of things that have happened since you were really close with this person. And I really do feel like either this could be somebody who you are related to, or they married into the family, or this could be somebody who started a family and that's part of what made it difficult for them to pursue the same path that you had. Escaping, avoiding, blocking, pushing away, and conflict. So there's a way to resolve this. There's a way to be friends or to be, cordial to each other. But this person doesn't want to accept what is bothering them. You can't talk about a problem if someone's pretending that it doesn't exist. So they have to accept that, and there has to be a conversation before this energy dissipates, before, you can actually enjoy each other's company as you're supposed to. This is the Gilded Reverie. What else do we have? The Woman with a Shirt. And the Bouquet. So this does not have to be about a woman, but the reason I clarify it's the woman with a shirt is because there is, of course, a woman without the shirt. I know you're really disappointed, right? But this is somebody who was focused. They didn't mess around with love. They didn't mess around with situationships. They knew what they wanted to focus on, and they did. This bouquet is about recognition. You have reached a certain milestone, an accomplishment. You might even have some sort of celebration about what you've been able to do, but this person's jealous. They don't feel like they compare. The Snake number 7, the Garden, number 20, and number 42, the Compass. So I'm upset at my own life because when I compare it to yours, I see where it could have gone if I had, put in the effort. So they're covering what's really upsetting them, or they're picking little battles and pretending that it's innocent. But when it comes to hanging out with you or being around, a group of people with you, this is somebody who feels inferior to you, someone who feels insecure because of what you've been able to do with your life. Nah, we'll go with the Kipper. This is the Kipper. Hello, what's going on, Galaxy King? I hope you're having a good day. Yeah, it's definitely limiting. Great fortune. So I do see your finances improving, or people see you as having achieved something that is very difficult. And this is tied to the fact that you have a gift. You have something that you were meant to share. It took you away from the family. It may have meant you didn't start a family. It may mean that you've got someone in your family who feels at a distance from you because they can't understand you or because they're jealous of you. But this gift, this was something that you knew you had to work with, something you wanted to focus on. So we have Lovers, Pathway, and Main Male. See, the thing is, I feel like for many of you, the distinguishing factor is the effort was not put into the pursuit of this person's dream because they got distracted by naked time. Just gonna say it. I think you remained focused. I think you knew what you wanted to do. You weren't going to let people distract you. And this person was maybe a little bit more so interested in afternoon delight. Have you ever just called up a random friend and left a voicemail with just a song like Afternoon Delight playing in the background? Be weird, do things to make people question your sanity. I've never done that, you guys. Why are you looking at me like that? All right, let's get a few more from, since I referenced him earlier, the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. That's all right, it happens. So we have the Hermit and the Ten of Wands. Your individuality, your ability to make your life your own, it's always going to make other people feel uncomfortable. Why? Because many times you're dealing with people who did not challenge the norms. They gave up on their dreams. So I guess I'm saying get used to it. There's going to be a lot of jealousy when you pursue the things that mean the most to you and see success. So yeah, there's some frustration here in terms of being able to just have a good time with someone, because the Queen of Wands in the reverse says this jealousy keeps popping up. It's pervasive. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, which to me is saying bide your time or choose the right moment. Be patient. This too shall pass. But yeah, this is someone who is jealous of your vocation, jealous of what you've been able to draw into your life. They just don't know how to articulate it, or they're not willing to be honest with you. So they might nitpick or tell you it's something else. We keep getting the Fool in the reverse. They're mad at themselves. It's just easier to pretend they're mad at you. For some of you, this could be your parent, and they're jealous of you doing something they wanted to do. Six of Swords in the reverse, Three of Cups in the reverse. They're not going to congratulate or acknowledge the achievement in the way that they should. They may try to minimize it or kind of insult it. But this is somebody who feels like you have outdone them, or you make their life look like a waste. So don't take what they have to say to you as truth, in one ear, out the other, because it's probably largely BS. They're just mad. You mad, bro? Well, yes, I am, because you're so awesome, and I'm not. Anyone can be awesome. This person chose not to be because they were selfish. Just saying. And they didn't put forth that effort. So don't let the haters get you down. You can't be awesome and successful without having a few of them, right? All right. I love you guys. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I will see you on the next reading. Doodles.